hand on over to you, talk to us a little bit about, I suppose, the industry overview with respect to project management and some of the feedback that you've been getting from candidates coming in, some of the applications of this course that they've been applying to roles that they're currently in. And then, again, if I could get you to jump in, I mean, I understand you've done quite a number of years actually in the project management space yourself and provide a little bit of, I think, of insight into what day-to-day might look like as well. So, Danielle, handing on over to you first, talk to us a little bit about, I suppose, the job outlook, the job growth, the sort of things that we're seeing out there in the industry.
As we mentioned, this course can be applied into so many different industries and therefore different roles. It's obviously the standout role when it comes to doing this course, but can be for upskilling for other roles as well and to gain more of an understanding of what that project management role is all about. So it does say there, you're responsible for things like the planning and organising of projects, which, as we saw in the units, is quite in depth and there's quite a lot of steps to doing so. So it's something that you really do need that training in. Support services as well, so managing the other arms of projects that go on as well. All the contracts, which of course is very important to make sure that everything's done correctly. And of course, the teams of people, which leads back into this course focus of having that person-to-person and interpersonal skills that come along with the course. The job outlook is very positive as far as this area is concerned. So the expected growth is 6.2% over the next 5 years, which is a really positive outlook. So it's definitely an industry that people are looking at getting into, which is why studying now and getting into the industry within that 5 years is such a great idea. The average salary of 130k per annum too is certainly a very impressive salary for someone studying the diploma, and the most common being that 65 to 70. So it is really a great career to get into, something that you can step into with the diploma without committing years to degrees. So that's why we see a lot of students that want to start out with our diploma and step into that industry and into that space. And of course, the job satisfaction there, 4.3 out of 5, which is quite high across industries as well. So there's certainly a lot of really positive reasons why people would want to get into this industry.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Danielle. And Iona, now you spent some time, well, quite some time as a project manager. What does life look like as a project manager on a day-to-day basis?
I would have to say it is one of the most varied, challenging and satisfying jobs that anybody could possibly do. As a project manager, we're responsible for developing the different teams, the scope of the project, creating the schedule for the project so the project actually happens. And then we're responsible for things like regular reviews. But to do all of that, we need to communicate constantly with different people at different stages of a project. I'll use the comparison of building a house. At each different stage of building a house, we use different people with different skills. So if we consider a house to be a mini project, so we've got the guys that come in and they create the foundation for the house, and then somebody else comes in and pours the concrete over the top, and then the bricklayers come in and they put the bricks up. And these are all different teams of different people. And that's what happens across a project. So throughout the lifetime of the project, we work with many different teams. We work with industry specialists and experts. And we, as the project manager, are responsible for the actual scoping of the project, often the feasibility study as well, depending on the size of the organisation. Taking a concept, building that concept into something real, and then having that concept actually happen in a very positive way. We're also responsible for communication throughout the project. So we're communicating with our teams, whether they be internal and external. We're communicating with our stakeholders. We're managing change throughout the project because we might need to substitute things or change timelines or things like that. It is a very rewarding role to work in, no matter which industry you work in. And my background is in engineering. So having worked on a couple of very, very large projects, as well as quite a few very, very small ones, each project, as you take it through to completion, is always very rewarding. And it's fair to say that in a professional sense, we build a professional network of people who we often work with across a range of projects over our career as a project manager. There is a lot of great things about working as a project manager.